And I just think that to kind of use that as a barometer or just a filter.
Yeah.
You know, does this generate love or hate or division? Does it generate a sense of justice, or does this promote injustice, or me getting over on you, kind of thing, does it generate, the simplicity of life and helping me be content, or does it stir up jealousies and envies and makes me less happy with my life and less thankful and less grateful and so on and so forth? Is it pure?
Life can be fast-paced, strenuous, and flat-out overwhelming. Life transitions and taboo topics can make it hard to catch your breath. Welcome to Breathe, a podcast that enables you to slow down, get your bearings, and engage in real conversations where no topic is off limits. Breathe is presented by Breath of Life, hosted by David Person and speaker-director Pastor Deblier Snell.
Boom!
What's
Right.
up?
Hey,
What's up?
yes, sir.
Look at these brothers.
Come
man.
on. Come on.
They didn't send me the memo.
No, my bad, Dave. Me and Kirk were texting early this morning, man. And
Let's get this one.
we thought you was on the thread, man.
We're doing the
It just-
graffiti today. Come on. I love it.
Pastor Deblier Snell, Pastor Kirk Nugent,
Yeah,
David
man.
Person. These episodes I'm repping Oakwood, but
Oakwood,
I'll
that's
catch
okay.
up with them.
That's
I'll
all
catch up
right.
with
Be
them
all right.
on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah.
You'll be all right. Oakwood in the house. We love it.
Oakwood
We
is
love
nice,
Oakwood.
man.
We love
Absolutely.
Oakwood.
Welcome to Breathe, and welcome to this new series, Everything is Gonna Be All Right.
Yeah, everything. Everything. Not most things, everything.
We're speaking encouragement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't help but think about Marley, though. Just, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
comes
I like
immediately.
We
that.
see.
That's good. He was.
That could be our theme music for this.
Put it underneath it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Look,
Everything's going to be all right, man.
the prophet, the
Come on.
prophet,
Come
the
on.
Rastafarian prophet. Yeah.
Breathe,
So,
man.
we are glad to be here, and I'll tell you, before we get into this episode, I want to make sure I remember to say, I've gotten some really interesting feedback from people on the Father's Day episode.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the Father's Day
Good.
episode.
Good.
People appreciated the candor
Fantastic.
Yeah.
and the way we kind of
That,
got
yeah,
into that.
no, somebody
that
did talk to me
conversation.
about that one too.
Yeah.
That was a big one. The person was just like, I didn't know exactly what I was getting into, but as
Mm-hmm.
soon as I started listening, I was like, oh wow, glad they touched on that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it wasn't just about Father's Day. It was just fatherhood.
Fatherhood,
But
really.
yeah, kind of leading into that Father's Day week.
Love
But
it.
now, I was at lunch today, and somebody shared that with me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people carry, there can be challenges.
Yep,
with,
There is,
It
and
is.
that's
parenting and
it's
parents.
part of
and I
it's
think
part of the
that's-
journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
part of what they found it healing, cathartic.
That's
I think,
good.
and maybe even instructive.
That's good.
Everything's going to be all right.
Everything's
no
gonna be
matter
all
what
right.
you've experienced in the past, we believe God will lead you forward, and we're applying that now for this episode
Come on.
to managing your content diet.
Yeah.
Content
Let me buckle
diet.
up.
Yeah.
Let me buckle up.
So we're talking now about what we consume in terms of social media, streaming media.
Yeah.
Am I leaving anything out
What you read.
that you
Yeah.
read?
And I think it's who you listen to, who you take counsel from.
Yeah.
It's just kind of what is feeding you, shaping you, nourishing you, draining you.
Yeah. Oh, draining.
Like, I think it's
draining you.
That's
good.
all a part of our content. And it's funny because I do think that we rightly emphasize physical diet in terms of making sure we're putting the right thing in our bodies and taking care of them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, the book of Proverbs, the Bible talks about how you should guard your heart,
Yeah.
for out of it flows all of the issues of life.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think in one of the books, I think it's New Normals, we talk about it, how we never walk around with our cell phones not in a case. Like,
Oof.
Well, most of us don't.
most of us don't. Yeah.
I do have a screen protector.
You got a screen protector, yeah. But I'm
You
saying
got something on there. You
Yeah, I
got
got-
something
yeah,
on there.
yeah.
because
No,
we
listen, I'm cased up, man.
right.
Yeah.
We recognize the value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Our whole lives
Yeah.
are on them. So it's
Guard
going to be
it.
in a case or either the screen is going to be covered.
Right.
Because I think at the end of the day, we're saying, all right, this is something I can't let water intrude on
Yeah.
it. If in case it falls, it drops, so on and so forth, And I just think some of us, man, actually guard our devices
Better
than we guard our hearts. I think we're very thoughtful. We're calorie counters about what we're putting in our body. But in terms of like understanding and having a certain amount of emotional and spiritual and mental health, a big part of it is not all just genetics. It's not just responding to trauma or avoiding trauma. It's a big part of it is just my outlook in many ways is going to be dictated by what I'm consuming on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the conversation we had. Kirk, I think you were here too. We were talking about the John Wick.
I remember that.
And
Yes,
both
I
of
do.
us talked about how we had to stop
That's that
watching.
back. Yeah, very much.
Too much.
Yeah.
The violence was beyond gratuitous.
Beyond gratuitous.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was insane.
Insane. Yeah.
Just an insane level of violence.
Yeah.
And just had to say, okay,
Yeah.
that's enough of
Very
that.
much. Yeah.
No,
So-
but I like the angle that you're coming at it from. As a content creator, content is to be consumed. Content is also food. Right? Content is also art.
It is.
Content it can be visual. It can be auditory. It can be something you ingest. But you do want to guard that. And I think there's seldom talked about connection between what we consume and some of the issues that we have.
Yeah. Ooh.
Or
yeah.
some of the habits that we're struggling to break. I do think that we don't connect the two. It's like, I'm struggling not to curse.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But then it's like, what you're putting in is maybe it's not what you're listening to. Maybe it's what you're watching.
Yeah.
The series that you just binged watched.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
they're dropping the F-bomb on there. So it's like, guy.
Hey. You're stepping on my toes.
Stepping on some
now.
toes.
Stepping on my toes.
Yeah.
But I do think managing or being cognizant. I think there's managing is probably preferred, but I would even go for being cognizant, being aware. I think a lot of people are just on autopilot.
Yeah.
And they don't make the connection.
Yeah.
Why am I struggling with this? But what are you ingesting? What are you taking in?
Taking in,
What are you
yeah.
allowing in and to settle? And you don't see that it's coming out in your actions, your words, your deeds, and how you're interacting with others. Those pieces, being cognizant of that is that'll win, man. You just having that awareness will help you to win.
It's very subtle.
Yeah.
I still say you're stepping on my toes.
I'm trying my best to be friendly, man.
Hey, listen, as the old preacher will say, you can't say amen, just say ouch. Yeah, just say ouch.
Double out, triple out. You drove down my street.
No.
Yeah.
You parked in my driveway.
We
honked the horn.
Yes, all of that.
Oh, man.
But it is real, And I tell you this too, the older I get, the more I realize that there are things that I am really sensitive to that I wasn't previous.
Oh, sure.
I totally agree.
And
Totally
I
agree.
I don't have the same ability to comfortably, and not just from a moral standpoint, but even just from an emotional standpoint. There's some things I'm just like, you know what, I just I don't need to see that. I don't need to
hear it. Yeah.
But it's interesting, even when we talk about this, kind of managing our content diet, especially in the light of just kind of, wanting to kind of live with the assurance that in Christ, everything is going to be all right. Man, it's funny how even content or even like social media, it's designed, even one of the phrases for 2025, it's rage bait. And how social media is just designed to just create rage bait in all of us. But there was this one pastor, and it was just this quick little reel. He talked about how one morning he clicked on social media, and how when he first clicked on it, there was kind of a friend's wedding pictures, and how it brought him joy. And how there was another reel that came on and it made him laugh. And then how there was, I guess, a story or a clip of a tragic passing of a child, how it made him weep. And then there was a matter of social injustice. Maybe it was dealing with policing and community, and how it sent him to a space of rage. And he's saying how, like, in the course of maybe 6 minutes,
My
how he
goodness.
goes from joy to laughter,
Wow.
to weeping, to rage.
Yeah.
And he was just saying how, like, in some ways, social media can take us on such
Yeah.
a roller coaster in the course of a few moments that we're not necessarily designed by God to be able to have to deal with that kind of range.
Yeah.
And no, we can handle that kind of range, but not like that every day in such, compacted spaces of time.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing, even as we talk about this, because I think there is, like you talked about, the issue of moral right and moral good, but I do think that this is, I think, something that we need to be mindful of, that much of our content keeps us from being content. And much of our content is
Keeps
what
us from being
keeps us
I
from
like what
being
you did there.
content. Yeah. Trying to drop some bars in there. Yeah. So,
No, that's good.
but
That's a bar for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But and I think, man, I just think we would really do well to really be a lot more thoughtful, whether it is the reality TV show that is unreality, or whether it is just the, I don't even know if we realize that we are pouring kind of fertilizer on our own roots of bitterness or jealousy or envy, because you're just stopping and looking at everybody's vacation pictures and their new house pictures and their groundbreaking ceremony pictures, and like it's fueling something inside of you, jealousy, envy, things of that sort. And I just think, and it's not even because anybody else's life is perfect. I mean, if you peel back the layers,
Oh, for sure.
the same tensions, stresses, fears, anxieties, you're living the same life. You kind of catch what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I just think, or even kind of like that soapy, kind of that soap opera genre of things that just kind of paints a false picture of relationships or marriage or how I'll fall in love or all those things. I just think that, again, and I'm not hammering all entertainment or leisure, but I just think that there are things that are specifically designed by the enemy of good to strip you of the ability to be content.
Totally.
I think it's designed to make you essentially dissatisfied with your life, to make you feel like you are less than blessed,
Mercy.
to create this idea or almost a false inequity that says something worse is happening to you than is happening to other people. And I just think that, when you really read the New Testament, like one of the great values that the Apostle Paul talks about throughout, he says, man, godliness with contentment is great gain.
It's great game.
Like he says, man, you know what has been the greatest blessing to me? He's like, I've learned in whatever situation I'm in to be content.
And to be content.
He says, man, if you got food, shelter, that's enough to be content.
Come
Like,
on.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, and I just think, man, like that's where honestly, that's the breakthrough of life.
Yeah.
The breakthrough of life is not having. The breakthrough of life is when I can be content no matter what I have.
Yeah.
And I just think that there are a lot of things in terms of the content space that are actually designed to strip away our ability to be content.
This is a great,
great
build
word.
off of last episode when we're talking about real peace,
Yep.
versus comfort. But,
Yep.
And the peace is not, stripped away based on what's happening environmentally, socially, physically, whatever.
Yep.
You can have peace in the middle of full chaos.
Yep.
And that's what content,
Yep. To be
really,
content is.
to
Yep.
be content really is not externally motivated. It doesn't matter if I'm riding high,
Yep.
if I just barely pulled in, I'm all right.
Yep.
And there's a peace that comes from that.
It is. That is.
And I do believe that the diet, the content diet we have is sometimes robbing us of that true peace as well. Yeah.
And I think, even with, parents, even of, daughters, and it's funny, I think we even have to watch it for ourselves. It's even like just the ability to be at peace with your own body. It is stripped away if like constantly, the world always holds up a very narrow view of what beauty is.
Very
and
true.
it looks a certain way.
Very true.
And many times it has a certain hue or a certain build. And everybody's aspiring for this. And I think, even just downloading that kind of content leads us into a lot of unhealthy, both emotional and physical practices. It affects sons and daughters.
It's true.
And so I just think, there is much in life that we have to just be mindful of. and thoughtful about what is the cumulative effect of what I am constantly digesting. Like I just think, even just the idea of forgiveness seems so foolish if, kind of everything that you watch kind of is retribution. You know what I'm saying? It's,
getting even.
I got to get even.
Yep.
Like it is forming an axiom in your mind that says this is the way I handle an enemy or a slight or an offense.
Yeah.
And so I just think that we just have to be mindful because we're all shaped in some way, shape, or form. Well, no. We're all shaped by what we consume.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love what in the book of Ecclesiastes says the eye is not satisfied with seeing.
Never.
And the ear is not filled with hearing. Meaning like there's just certain things you're not just satisfied to watch. Like
simply watch.
Yeah, what it does is it awakens a desire,
yes.
and it can't be satified unless there is some action that
Mercy.
aligns with it. That's why even husbands. Unmarried husbands. Like I just think we have to really guard. It's funny the whole pornography thing. Let's talk about it. Because at the end of the day, the Jordan's changed so much. Where
it used to be.
If you wanted to, if you was trying
there.
to catch something,
good night.
you had to be under the cover at night. You had to sneak into the little dirty part of movie gallery.
Blockbuster.
Or
You had it under a curtain.
Or
back in my day, it was the newsstand.
Right.
That was on the corner.
They had the little black.
And you'd sneak and
Mercy.
try to
Mercy.
Yeah. But it's
nowadays
funny. It's funny because the data with it is crippling.
Yeah.
What pornography is doing, it does it to both men and women. We tend to consume it at a higher rate as men. But it's just like, man, it's one, it just disrupts clarity about how real relationships are supposed to function.
Absolutely.
Like that woman is an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is getting paid
That's right.
to act turned on
Help us.
by things by and large that will be grotesque or may even, what's the term, that we would normally deem abusive or foolish behavior in real life.
In real life,
And it's funny because like even the data talks about, and actually I've seen this in counseling, where husbands, men, have consumed it at such a pace that now they can't even be turned on in real life because it has shaped the portion of the brain in such a way that without this, I can't even be truly engaged with the flesh and blood person
the wife.
who is willing to share their life or body with me in bed. And so what I'm saying is I just think that we've got to all truly be mindful again. And again, this is not where the conversation was designed to go, but I do want to just say, to any young brother who's checking this out today, like don't live in shame or embarrassment. It is better for you to get help now because this will not be satiated just by getting married.
Yeah.
It is not going to go away. You have to you need to get help, both spiritually, perhaps emotionally as well, so that this does not choke the life out of relationships going forward.
Oh man. Yeah. And from a content perspective, it's just becoming far more available, ubiquitous. I was watching a documentary with the kids last night, and it was this old school show, and they had this scene where the woman had, by today's standards, she was fully clothed, y'all. But it was X-rated back then. And it's just, to see that slide of where society had, what the line is of what is appropriate and not appropriate is completely off the chart. So it's not a issue that is going to go away or get better, or you can just kind of put it in a box and say, well, I won't, I just won't do with that. But no, it'll come and find you if you're not careful. So no, your content diet is big. It's big. Yeah. I was talking to another guy. They came up with Instagram for TV, right? I don't know if you guys.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah,
literally within the last day or two.
Yeah,
they came up with Instagram for TV, and the brother was saying to me, "Is like, I'm not logging in on the TV.
Yeah,
'Cause
Yep.
I can't have people seeing
Sure,
what
right,
I want.
right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
And that's the point I was going to make about Instagram.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Instagram and Facebook and
yep.
TikTok.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
they have opened up a whole
Whole
new
new-
avenue
Yeah.
for things
it.
that are not
This is it.
by definition
Porn.
pornographic.
Right.
But it might
But
as well be.
It may as well
And
be.
it's impact.
It's
Yeah,
the
that's
gateway.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's
There
what-
you go.
you know how they used to kind of call certain things a gateway drug.
right.
That it's the gateway.
Oh,
to it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes that social media arena so tricky because we know there are also a lot of good things on social
There
media.
is.
Y'all are listening to the
Listen,
Breathe
we're
podcast
here.
on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah. So, it can be tricky, but
That's why, you've got to manage the diet.
Yeah.
You got to manage
right.
what you let in.
Yeah.
that's right.
And be cognizant. I just that awareness of what's I reached my quota. I think this week I'm done with
Yeah.
you just to be that tapped in and recognize this thing's starting to shape my thinking. I'm starting to develop different kinds of views because of what I'm ingesting. That is a good place of awareness to be with yourself.
And I just think even something like news.
Totally agree.
I think you have to be thoughtful about what news venue.
right.
Like, is that news venue designed to inform?
Yeah.
Or is it designed to persuade?
Yeah.
Or provoke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, just honestly, and I don't know. I think I have a certain capacity for things, but like, I mean, and this wasn't even. I don't think it was provoking, but literally, I mean, about 3 days ago, just the evening ABC News, that was just such a litany of this tragic loss. This person killed in a riptide. This person, and I was just like, Jesus. Like, I mean, it's just
Too much.
wow, Lord. Okay, I mean, maybe the day was just longer and heavier than most days, but I was just like, Jesus, like,
Come on.
really? I mean,
Too
just
much.
Yeah.
So I just think that we have to manage types, and then maybe with such certain other things, maybe it's a volume or a dosage kind of issue where you have to kind of just and you got to know yourself.
And I was going to
be
say
mindful of it.
there are times, and that's what I was really referring to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
At my age, there are times when I can sit down and ingest,
I see what
20
you're saying.
or 30 minutes of hardcore news, right?
Yeah.
But then there's some other times when I can feel it in my body. I'm like,
I'm not
I
there.
don't need to watch the news right now.
Yeah.
I used to hear people say, I stopped watching the news.
Right.
And of course, because of my journalism background,
Right, yeah.
You're like,
and
what?
I'm like, well, that's not smart.
Right. Yeah.
But now I understand.
Yeah.
You gotta manage.
Yeah.
At least the age I am now.
Sure.
Gotta manage it.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't just watch it indiscriminately.
Indiscriminately.
Yeah.
I agree with you 110%. And like I said, I think it's amount, and then just kind of realizing, all right, is this information or is it provocation, and kind of making that kind of distinction between it.
Yeah.
I did want to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say there's a blurred line between content and news.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And
very much.
So there's for me, I don't ingest too much news because I also have to then set aside the requisite time to do the research to see if what I actually listened to was real.
Yeah.
And so most of the time I just don't want to do that part.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking. I mean, I can't. I just everything I see, I look at it with a healthy side eye. Like,
That's a good practice.
I don't know.
That's good practice. Yeah.
I don't know. So there's that piece as well.
Yeah.
And that's more real every day, man.
Every day.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Every day.
I'm going to just throw this out here, Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, just to give you something in terms of just kind of a guide, in terms of just kind of how I manage or how do I at least filter my content diet. And again, this I want to be clear so as not to be taking things out of context. This is not, there was no television, there's no internet, when Paul wrote, right? So, but there's always been different ways people consume content.
Absolutely.
So, but he says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true,
That's good.
whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think or meditate on these things. And I just think that to kind of use that as a barometer or just a filter.
Yeah.
Does this generate love or hate or division? Does it generate a sense of justice, or does this promote injustice or me, me getting over on you, kind of thing, does it generate, the simplicity of life and helping me be content, or does it stir up jealousies and envies and makes me less happy with my life and less thankful and less grateful and so on and so forth? Is it pure, or does it, and again, let me be clear, there's a difference between, I think, having sexual thoughts and sexually immoral thoughts.
Agreed.
Like sexual thoughts, they come from God. This is a part of God's design.
It's a great distinction.
But I just think that, there's certain things that appeal to the base nature of man. And I just think that we have to be mindful of that. If it's drawing my attention away from my marriage, then I have to kind of say,
For the young
good.
woman or man who's single, can we give an example? What would you call a benign or moral sexual thought?
That's a good question. Well,
For
for a single person. I just think, how do I want to say this? Ask the question one more time. Let me just make sure.
So for a person who's not married,
right? Correct. Yeah.
Right. They are, and I'm saying young, but they don't have to be young.
Sure. Yeah.
But a person who's not married, how are you distinguishing between a sexual thought that is moral,
right? Yeah,
and a sexual thought that is immoral?
Yeah. So I just that's a really great question. So I just think. Well, I think if I could just say it this way, what I've tried not to do with single people or young people is just condemn all sexual feelings or thought.
Okay.
Because what I'm saying is, like, that is a part of our design. God created us, especially once we reach adult age, to be able to experience sexual expression. So I just think a part of it is, like, we tend to wrongly take the world's view of sex and put it in this dirty category.
Agreed.
We call it doing the nasty and the wild thing. And all that stuff like that. But that's not really God's design. But I think what happens is, remember, the eye is not satisfied with seeing. So I think that if in that state, if I'm wanting to live my life according to the designs of Scripture and express myself appropriately in marriage one day, but I just think that which is going to accelerate the desire in such a way where I can't operate in the covenant. I just think that's where you need to kind of do it. Like, I love where I think it's in Proverbs 7 where Solomon asks the question, can a man put fire in his bosom and not be burned by it?
Right.
And, I just think it's kind of one of those things where, okay, these desires are appropriate.
Yeah.
They're good, but they're for a particular context. But are the things that I'm consuming, are they inflaming these desires? Are they multiplying? Is it? You know what I'm saying? So where now it's going to reach a point where I cannot manage it or control it. And the truth is, I just think the older you are, I want to say the older. Well, it's funny because we use it. We almost kind of wrongly say, "Oh yeah, just for young people." But the truth is, like you're more free when you're young to a certain extent. But when you're older, I just think that if that's your design and that's how you're trying to live, I just think the less sexual content you're consuming, I think that's going to be the most helpful path if you're trying to stay on that path of waiting until I'm married.
So I know the advice or the admonition that I heard when I was a much younger man was, and this was being addressed to men.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
That first look. Okay. So you've looked because she's a beautiful woman. You may find her sexy.
Right.
But
I've heard this
that's
one.
not the sin.
Right.
The sin, if you will, or the where you start to
Well, it
drift
gets
in
even more-
immorality
yeah.
is when you get that second look.
Yeah. It's the
Because
second look.
then that's when you're starting to
Yeah.
think about, I wonder what it would be
Yeah.
like to
It's
A, B, C, D, E.
So maybe a distinction would be it's not the noticing or just say the admiration.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's the imagination. It's the
Yes.
fantasy.
That's
I
it.
think once you cross over
that line.
into that space,
Yeah.
because really at that point, the only thing that's really stopping you is a lack of opportunity.
That's it.
Because I think the more once you've gone there, here and here, why Jesus says, even if a man looks at a woman lustfully, and he's already committed adultery with her in his heart.
Yeah.
Because at that point, really, you're not even moral. You just the chance hadn't appeared. You know what I'm saying?
Mercy.
The opportunity hadn't revealed itself. So I just think that so again, I just think sexual desires again, they come from God, and that's not a stretch at all. That's not controversial.
Right. Not at all.
Like God gave this to Adam, and said, when I give you to her, this is what I want you to do with it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think at our if you're trying to operate in covenant, I just think the more you consume, the more it's going to inflame and enhance those desires, to where it's just going to be nearly impossible to operate in the right context.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So let's end on this. What advice do you have for folks who want to stay uplifted and encouraged as they manage their content diet?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's got to be a healthy check-in with self. There's got to be a healthy awareness of. I think we've all said it in different ways. There are days where you can sit down and consume. There are other days where you can't. I'm just talking news right now. There's other days where you're like, I can't really take in all of that right now. I've got to. There's got to be a healthy check-in with self to say, where am I?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a weak season, you might not be able to have capacity for pretty much of anything. You need to really, go to the Word, or double down on that kind of content that really is going to build you back up. But I do think that there is a balance to be struck. I don't know that there's a prescription across the board for all. I think that because I've seen it as well. I mean, a good friend of mine, he's in the movie industry, and he will ruin any movie. You watch a movie with him, he will ruin it, because the whole point, you're watching a movie, you kind of enter that world,
right?
And he's like, oh man, do you see the camera angle here? Oh man, I can't believe they left that in the script. And I'm just like,
bro,
I'm trying to watch this thing.
He's killing it up.
So for him, I just because of his background and his training, he's not gonna see it and ingest it the same way that somebody else will. That for them, they are in the world.
Wow. Yeah.
So I do think there's context. You'll see somebody else doing something and you want to emulate or copy, but you don't know what battle armor they have and what's actually making it through the guard. You can only know that for you. Man, when I watch this, this is what happens. And sometimes you got to do a test. I mean, you got an allergy test. They do a battery just to see what you respond to.
They just prick you.
They just keep going. I think I'm not saying you need to test out all the time.
No, don't test it all.
Some of it you just need to know it is not good for you.
Take our word for it.
Yeah. You just need to know it's not good for you. But I do think there is a healthy check-in process that one must develop and be aware of where they are as they continue to consume content, and develop a strategy where they are managing their content diet in a way that's healthy for them.
Yeah,
I just think that verse, I think it's Galatians 5 or 6, it's escaping me at the moment, where the Bible says, God is not mocked. That which a man sows, the same shall he reap. I just think sometimes we look at that out of context as if, God is going to punish me with bad because I did bad. But no, I actually think it's using just kind of an agrarian example that says, whatever you plant, that's what you're going to eat. So I can't plant apple seeds and hope for oranges.
No.
I can't plant orange seeds and hope for grapes. I can't plant grape seeds and hope for figs. Whatever seed I am sowing, that is going to be the fruit that I'm going to have to live with. And so I just think that when it comes down to content, do you realize the most fertile soil in the world, it is your mind and your heart. And the thing about soil is that it does not discriminate.
Wow.
So whatever you plant there, that soil is going to nourish, and it's going to give you back something that's a reflection of the seed as you're being planted. And the reason I think I wanted to have this conversation, especially in the context of everything's going to be all right, I think much of what is making us anxious, much of what is making us fearful, much of what is taking our contentment away, much of what is driving our sense of anger, much of what is driving our sense of what is just, or even what is driving our sense of whether or not God is with us, much of that is reflecting or mirrored in the content that we're consuming. So we spend a little time talking about sexual stuff, but that's kind of where Christians always start and stop with content.
Yeah.
That's just a part of it. But I just think that, man, our overall wellness is in many ways, I think there are certain fears that may be there, but I just think, man, what we're consuming, I just think it pours gasoline all over what's causing you fear, anxiety, like even social media, man. I mean, the studies even talking about what it does to young people.
Yeah.
Like the amount of anxiety that, and it doesn't just, I just think it just does it to them earlier, where it's happening to all of us.
Absolutely.
But it just happens to them, and I think it shows up perhaps in a little bit more of an overt fashion. So I just think I want to just encourage us, like, all right, whatever I'm trying to reap, that's what I need to be sowing. So if I want to live a life full of contentment, like my content needs to sow that. Like if I want a life of, man, inspiration, optimism, kind of a faith outlet, look, I need to sow that. If I want to be a resilient person, the things that I read, the people I listen to, the podcasts I sit down with, like the Breathe podcast.
Come on.
The TED Talks I'm listening to. I need to sow that.
Yeah.
If I want to, real talk, if I want to be a big thinker,
Come on.
like I can't sit around and listen to little thinkers all the time. Petty, small, vindictive people. Like I gotta sow something different.
Yeah.
And so I just think, your thought world is where the victory is won or lost, and which is why I think you got to really, some of us need to go on a really strict content diet.
Agreed.
And some just need to reshape the content diet. I just think some of us can live with a lot less anxiety, anger, frustration. But it's not because you're just this innately bad, jealous, or evil person. I think it's just reflecting what's being sown consistently.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good advice. So we're talking this month about everything being all right. But, but in order to achieve that, first of all, we got to be in partnership with God, obviously.
Yep.
But then we also have to be intentional on our end.
Yep.
And we've been talking about that a lot today, this episode of Breathe, that intentionality in terms of managing what we expose ourselves to, what kind of content we are ingesting. So think about that.
Yeah.
You want everything to be all right? It can and it will be all right. But it requires an investment on our end. So let's think about that, especially as it relates to media content.
Yeah.
And if you need some help with that, stop, pray, and breathe.
Breathe is produced by David Person for Breath of Life. Executive producer is Debliere Snell, and sound engineer is Kirk Nugent. Audio episodes of Breathe can be found on Apple, Spotify, or Google Podcast platforms. For video episodes and extra content, check out the Breath of Life YouTube channel. Breath of Life is faith-based content, resources, and programs from a contemporary urban perspective for those looking for hope and guidance. We believe that every breath we take is a testimony that God is consistent, that He loves us, and has a plan for our lives.